Saw holds an undeservedly trashy reputation as a purveyor of grim, bloody sensationalism, a trailblazer of torture porn. And yet James Wan and Lee Wannell's fiendish, low-budget 2004 horror creation deserves to be remembered as a genuinely brilliant, and rather clever, thriller. With Halloween approaching and new reboot Jigsaw heading to cinemas, the movie is worth another harrowing watch. An immersive stage play, Saw begins with one of the most intriguing openings of any horror film. Two strangers wake up disoriented and terrified in a grimy, pitch-black bathroom, with no idea how they got there. Chained up and with no obvious means of escape, they're forced to work together to try to figure out what's going on. With the viewer similarly in the dark, it's fascinating to watch the two main characters, played by Cary Elwes and screenwriter Wannell, solving the first few clues and gradually learning about each other. The first 15 minutes are beautifully paced and focused, almost unfolding like an immersive stage play. But then the narrative gradually opens out further, leaping around in space and time through flashbacks, recollections, and events happening elsewhere at the same time. The structure is clever and complex. Intriguing questions arise from a movie that is simultaneously a whodunit and a whodunit. Who is the twisted serial killer Jigsaw? Why have these men been selected as his latest victims, and just how are all the various events, past and present, connected to one another? The importance of empathy. Saw heightens the tension by making you care about its characters too. Many horror movies make the mistake of giving you a cast of disposable, cheap stereotypes who you simply cannot empathize with. Adam is just an ordinary man, out of his depth photo Lionsgate. Instead, Saw gives us several sympathetic individuals to root for: flawed but well-meaning Dr. Lawrence Gordon, likable photographer Adam, and obsessive police detective Danny Glover. All are multi-layered, and both strong and weak in various ways. Their plights, fears and reactions in the face of the film's events are all too believable. Even the barely glimpsed flashback victims seem plausible and relatable. Every people a far cry from the criminals and morally corrupt ne'er-do-wells of the Saw sequels. What you don't see, much like the more highly regarded Say 7N, the vast majority of the serial-killing nastiness in Saw is actually implied, rather than shown directly. It is a testament to the movie's clever use of editing and shot selection that it's actually far less gory than most people remember. Though infamous for a grisly premise and payoff, the emphasis throughout is on creating a rich, immersive atmosphere, a slow-burning build-up of tension and mood. There's a moody aesthetic throughout photo Lionsgate. The transition from confusion to despair between Adam and Gordon, the murky chaos of the detective's investigation, and the nail-biting grip of the family kidnapping segment are all part of a pervasive tone of dread. Saw's entire shoot was completed in just 18 days. Individual sequences also stand out. The scene where Adam is hunting through his pitch-black apartment, using only camera flashes to provide occasional heartbeats of light, is a masterclass in suspense. At key points, Tobin Bell's incredible voice lends genuinely eerie gravitas, contempt and menace. It's no surprise the actor's performance as Jigsaw has become perhaps the series' most enduring and popular feature. Mother of invention derived from Wan and Wannell's own short horror film of the same name, Saw was not a major, big money production. The film's budget was a paltry $1 million. The entire shoot was completed in just 18 days. But spurred into action by such limitations, the creators came up with something distinctive and memorable as a result. I want to play a game. Photo Lionsgate Saw turned dark and dirty into an art form, using low lighting and sparse, rundown sets, which proved infinitely more satisfying than its sequel's more lavish carnival rides of gore. The grungy, industrial aesthetic worked wickedly in its favor, as did the character-based emphasis, and the no-trademark quick, chaotic editing at certain points that has become a hallmark of the franchise. All were born of necessity. As efficient, economical production goes, Saw is a marvel of low-budget filmmaking. Twisted and original. The original concept of Saw remains fascinating too. Saw's creators have become mainstream horror's most reliable partnership, going on to make the Insidious and Conjuring franchises. Jigsaw's reason for putting people through hell was not mere punishment. Rather, he cannot stand seeing people who don't value their lives, so pushes them to the absolute limits of survival in order that they fully appreciate their existence, an idea which got utterly lost in subsequent follow-ups. This warped sense of self-righteousness helped make Jigsaw a fascinating villain. Indeed, one initial survivor of his schemes goes on to tell detectives that he helped her overcome her drug addiction. Saw became a surprise smash hit at the box office for a reason. Wan and Wannell have since become mainstream horror's most reliable writer-director partnership. Their Insidious and Conjuring franchises consistently spooky and successful. Long before that, however, it was Saw that made their names. a twisted, original thriller about a very warped man who wanted to play a game. 25 things to watch on Netflix this Halloween. Hellraiser at 30. Pinhead actor Doug Bradley on the film's legacy classic horror films screenings in cinemas this month.